Okay, before we start, please watch this at 2 times speed. And also, I don't remember a lot of what happened, but I just know it was really crazy. But that's just like off the top of my head, and I could not talk to anyone else to figure out what else happened. So I just kind of just like whatever was stuck in my head. So sorry, that wasn't like all of it. All right, that's it. Sorry. Today, I'm going to be trying epoxy resin, and I'm also going to be talking about my freshman year roommate. It's been so long. I really hope I remember all of this. And disclaimer, she was not too bad. A lot of the stuff she did was questionable, but at the end of the year, we were like fine. I think she was just like overwhelmed at school and everything, and like, you know, it was just me and my roommate for a bit. Like, we moved all of our stuff, my stuff in, and I was like talking to her, and then she seemed nice. But like right off the bat, I didn't like have the best feelings toward her. I don't think we're gonna get along. But I was just like, you know, whatever, benefit of the doubt, I'm gonna be nice to this girl, obviously. Like, right off the bat, she was telling us that she had this boyfriend for years that she would loved. She knew they were gonna get married. Boyfriend was a loser though. He sucked. He was so rude. Like, he was so mean to her. He would like make fun of her because like she had a bit of a stuttering problem. It wasn't too bad. She had a bit of like spelling problems and stuff like that. And I guess her boyfriend would get mad at her if she was like misspelling and stuff in their text, and so he would like call her dumb and stuff, and he was just kind of an and he would like get mad at her, but like whatever. I don't remember what happened. Oh my god, I remember what happened. Okay, so at our school, everything was fine until October. That's when everything happened. We had this thing called Treats and Beats. For Halloween, they have like this kind of like fair rides, like 2 or 3 fair rides, a performer, and like food and stuff like that. It was really cool. So my roommate, we'll call her Tammy. So my roommate was Tammy. My suite mates were Amanda and Penelope. And then downstairs below us, we had these girls that they were like our friends too. And there was Sarah, Karen, and my best friend at the time was Olivia. Everyone got along. Everything was fine. I kind of ended up spending most of my time with the girls downstairs because like my suite mates upstairs, they were cool and everything, but they were like super book smart stuff, studying all the time because they were bio majors and I was not. So I just kind of was like hanging out with people downstairs. Tammy was having a lot of trouble with her schoolwork. Okay, right now I'm letting the resin sit in hot water so there's no bubbles. That Tammy would go into Penelope and Amanda's room, like, because they had the same bio class. Tammy would she would mainly ask Penelope for help with all of her like bio stuff. So like the night before, right before her quizzes and stuff like that, she'd go into her room, kind of ask Penelope to tutor her, and Penelope was like, well, why would you ask me like right before? But you know, she would help her, tutor her. Like right before their midterms, Penelope in Amanda's room, and she would have like, she'd ask them for help. So they would go over basically what they were learning for the test so she can pass her midterm. Which, I understand, if you need help, go get help. But don't ask them the night before you guys have a midterm, you know? Okay, back to Treats and Beats. Me and Olivia were waiting in line with Sarah. Tammy and Amanda, I think, were taking a long time. It was getting late. It was already starting to close. And then Tammy wanted to get on this ride that Olivia and I had already gone on. And I was like, no, I don't want to go. Because I hadn't eaten that day. And I was hungry and I wanted to go to like the DC before anything closed. And before like the student store closed. We were getting ready to leave, but she kept like wanting us to stay with her in line. We're like, no, like we want to leave. We're already done. Like this has been like more than enough time. Because we were there from like 2 to like 9 and it closes at like 10. And I was already over it. So was like Olivia and the rest of the people we were with. But she stayed in line with Sarah. And by the time like we got out of the Treats and Beats thing, I went to the DC. I was so hungry and the DC was closed. They were closing up. It's so frustrating to see something's closed, but it's even more frustrating when you see them taking all this, like putting everything away and then like closing it down because they had just closed. I don't have anything in my dorm. It was on the Friday, and so everything opens up later on Saturday, so I couldn't like wake up early and get food. So then I went with my friends, minus Sarah and Tammy. The student store, there was nothing there, and I ended up just getting like Arizona and like something. I don't really remember what it was. And we were just all kind of sitting in Penelope and Amanda's room, and we're all talking, and then Tammy and Sarah come into the room. But you know how when there's a conversation going on and there's just a lull in the conversation, everyone was laughing, and then you're just kind of like, everyone's kind of like, okay, like stop laughing, like okay, now we have to go on to something else. She walked in during one of the lulls and assumed we were talking about her. Everyone was kind of sitting there like not knowing what to say. She just went to our room and like closed the door And then we're like, what the hell? Okay, whatever. Penelope went up to go talk to Tammy, see if she was doing okay. Tammy was like, I want to do a roommate talk. And so then everyone was like, oh God, okay. So then all of our friends from downstairs went to their dorm, and it was me, Tammy, Penelope, and Amanda. We all came into the room. And then she's like, no, I don't want to do it right now. Like, no, I don't want to have a roommate talk. Like, you just told us you want to have a roommate talk right now. We're going to have it right now. We're not going to have it another time. Like, we're tired. We're going to have it now. All right, guys, I'm dumb. Look at this. How did that happen? Ignore that. Happened. I remember. So she was upset because she said that she felt like we were talking about her and that we were just kind of being like fake and stuff. She told Penelope and Amanda, she's like, yeah, because every time you guys like close your door, I feel like you guys are talking about me. Penelope was just like, well, so then you just want us to let you know every time we're going to close our door, like ask permission, like what do you want? They don't talk about you. We're not talking about you, Tammy. I don't know. I'm sorry. We're kind of just like sitting there like, is there anything else you want to talk about? And then she just put the blankets over her head and then like faced the wall and didn't say anything else to us. And then everyone's like, all right. After that, everything seemed fine, back to normal. Amanda was always on campus in the library. And the rest of us were kind of like always in our dorms hanging out with each other and stuff like that. And Tammy had a job. And so they weren't there all the time like the rest of us were. Amanda would come home late from the library, and then Tammy would kind of gossip to her, like talking about us, like just making fun of us, like talking shit and stuff like that. Amanda would tell us like the next day because she was like best friends with Penelope, and so like obviously she would tell Penelope like what was going on, like what she was saying. So she was obviously upset with us, but we didn't really like talk to her. I always stayed downstairs with Olivia, Sarah, and Karen. I always stayed downstairs with them. And we always kind of hung out in Sarah and Olivia's room. And I guess I had the window open, and I guess Tammy had the window open too, because theirs was like right below us. So it was like my room and then their room. I was telling them the stuff that she was saying about us, and we're kind of like joking about it, like making fun. We're like, why the f- would she be talking about us when like we don't do anything to her? And then I guess like we were joking around laughing at that. And then she heard, and she recorded it apparently. We never heard the recordings, but she said she recorded it. And I guess she showed Amanda. Amanda was like, yeah, she has a recording of you guys talking about her, blah, blah, blah. And we're just like, okay, whatever. I'm going to have the window closed from now on, but I don't care. And then it went on to like Tammy still being upset with us kind of like, whatever. She's like kind of annoying, whatever. But I mean, I don't want to cause problems. I live with her. She's my roommate. So I'm just going to be cordial. Okay, I'm going to try this again. Drama with Tammy. Amanda would come home, hear about it. Got to the point where Tammy was telling Amanda that she was like, you know, if they want to fight dirty, we'll fight dirty. I'm going to put Nair in in their shampoo conditioner, talking about me and Penelope's conditioner, like shampoo. I know she would do it. So every time I showered after that, I would always just like kind of move my hair, get like a little spot like in the middle or something, and then just get a little bit and like rub it in the shampoo and the conditioner, because I was terrified she actually did that. She never did, thankfully. But like I was scared because she seemed like she would. How do people do this? It's hard. Oh, but the thing is that she like told Amanda she would always have like Arizonas around or like Gatorades and stuff around the room, and I never thought of like touching her stuff. Like I didn't, like I was like, you know, I don't care. She wants to be petty. She can touch my stuff. I'm not gonna stoop to her level. I'm not gonna do it. Even though I really want to. I want to be petty so bad. I just never do it. But she was like, no, I don't trust. She's like, I don't trust her talking about me. Like, I don't know what she's going to do to my stuff, like, now that it's open, like, her drinks and stuff, like, what I was going to do to her open drinks. I was like, I don't touch your drinks. You're the one that messes with my stuff. I don't do anything. And it got so bad that I have to take pictures of my side of the room, see if she touched anything while I was gone. But yeah, she was saying that she didn't trust me, that I was going to put stuff in her drink. And I was like, no, I wouldn't. I don't care. But then she ended up making friends with the girls that lived next to us. She was friends with them. So it was, like, getting a little better. I wasn't in my room often, because I was always, like, class, downstairs or in my dorm. For some reason, whenever I was not in my dorm, that is when Tammy would freak the fuck out. I'm home, like, you missed it. And I was like, I missed what? They're like, Tammy was going crazy. She was like punching the wall. She was yelling and screaming. And I was like, oh my God. So, and I was never there to see it. Like, the way she would talk to her mom on the phone, that was crazy. Like, she would scream as if her mom was there in person. Like, I've never talked to anyone like that on the phone, let alone in person. But she was like screaming at the top of her lungs, like cussing and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, that's something. My mom will kill me. She was falling behind in classes because she was working. She was talking to Amanda and telling Amanda that Amanda and Penelope were giving her wrong answers to the chemistry. They didn't want her to pass, they wanted her to fail, and that's what they were like, giving her wrong answers. It's harder to give someone fake answers. I feel like just like make up random answers. Whoa. It's harder to make up random answers than it is to just kind of just help you figure it out. Like, they weren't making up random answers. They were trying to help you. We were kind of cordial. Like, she didn't really, I don't think she hated me that much. I could be wrong. Her problem was mainly with Penelope. She hated her. And Amanda would tell us that she hated her. So Amanda was kind of like sick and tired of it. She was like, you know, getting home from like studying all day and then having her all this drama like she doesn't really care about. And so she was kind of just like annoyed with it already. I was trying to be cordial with her. She wasn't. Oh, I remember one day I was in my dorm. She texted me asking me if I was awake, and I was like, yes. And then she like walked into the room. She had like some girl with her, and then she was just like, and I was like, oh, I was like, what would you have done if I was asleep? She's like, we still would have come in, just been quiet. I was like, but I'm asleep in there. Don't let anyone else in there when I'm asleep. That's weird. I guess like Amanda was her only friend in the dorm to her. I guess like she was really upset, and then she thought everyone hated her. She had an RA come in and have like a talk with us. So she was like saying that we were talking about her and shit like that. The way the room was set up, the RA was sitting here, Tammy was sitting here, and then the person that she was talking to would sit here. And he said, make sure you say I feel, not I know or when you blah blah blah. Just say I feel. The first person she wanted to talk to was Penelope, which was like kind of obvious because she just didn't like Penelope. And Penelope was like what do you want to say? Tammy was kind of just like, you know, Penelope making her fail. She doesn't know why everyone hates her. Like, she doesn't do anything. And then Penelope was like, well, I know you're talking shit about me. And then the RA that was like administering the roommate talk was just like, no, start with I feel. She's like, I feel like I know you're talking shit about me. And like her face was kind of just like, and she's like, yeah, I know that you talked about me to Amanda. Aria was just like, Amanda, is that true? She's like, yeah, it is true. And then Tammy was kind of like shocked, like, oh my god, like, I think she thought that Amanda would like be on her side, be like, no, she doesn't talk about you guys, but like, no, you talk shit about us, like, be honest at least. If you're gonna talk, be honest. And then she wanted to talk to me next, and I was like, oh god, I don't know. Like, I was like, what did I do to this? I tried to be nice to her. Yes, I'm talking about the stuff that she tells Amanda about us, and I talk about how it's like annoying. But, like, I don't talk about, like, I don't know. I don't really talk about her. So, Amanda cannot take anything seriously. And this girl was just, like, in the corner making this face when Tammy was telling me how she was feeling and stuff like this. Which I know I should have been listening, but I get distracted easily. I saw Amanda's face, and I was, like, and I was trying not to laugh because her face looked funny. And it was, like, taking so much. And I was trying to listen, but, I couldn't. My brain was not letting me. And then she stopped talking. And she was looking at me, and I was like, oh my god, I'm supposed to be talking back. And I was just sitting there. I was like, I didn't hear a thing this girl said. I feel horrible, but what did she say? And so then I was just like, I don't understand, what do you mean? And then she basically was saying that she felt like I don't listen to her. I swear I'm a good listener, but this time I wasn't. Because she, like, oh, I couldn't pay attention. But yeah, I was just like, okay, like, I do listen to you. I'm sorry. But she never talked to me. So I'm like, I don't know what there is to listen to you about. I tried talking to you. You don't talk to me. And I was like, and something that bothers me is that you talk to Amanda about a lot of stuff. And you are kind of insulting me as a person. Like, you're being mean to me. You're, like, judging me. Just, like, as an actual person. As, like, who I am as a person. When all I was doing, when I was, like, making fun of you, was just saying, oh, it's annoying that sometimes she'll, like, play her music really loud. Or it's annoying that sometimes she'll do this. But I wasn't, like, attacking her as a person. But she was always attacking me as a person. And that's what I mentioned. That's what I said I was bothering me. After that, we were fine. And then it went to Amanda. And then she just told Amanda that she felt, like, kind of betrayed that Amanda would, like, tell us that she was talking about us. And Penelope was like, yeah, I understand. But, like, Penelope's my best friend. I don't know what you expect me to just sit there and let you talk about her. We all kind of came to an agreement. We're kind of like, okay, whatever. Yes, okay. Like, we're friends now. Yeah. And then the thing is that even the RA told us, he was just like, the way she explained it to me, it doesn't seem like you guys at all. Like, just being here, you guys don't seem like you guys are the type of people, and I've talked to you guys. So. Who is it? I think she will throw up. Masa? She's gonna throw up! She's gonna throw up! Masa, I'm sorry. Are you okay, Tunky? Oh, she's doing it again. She's doing it again. It's okay, Masa. It's okay. Are you okay? I'm not even kidding when I tell you guys that I was literally gagging while I was watching this. It was disgusting. I'm so sorry you had to watch this. I cleaned it up. And the thing is, I have my sliding door open, so everyone heard me gagging for my life. The stuff she's saying you guys do to her or like say about her, it really doesn't seem like you guys are those people, and I've talked to you guys like separately. But the fact that you guys have numbers against her, it looks like bad on our part. But he's like, I really don't think you guys are as horrible as she says you guys are. A winter break, it was nice. We sat there eating like the mini DiGiorno pizzas. One thing I would like to say to her, she introduced me to those DiGiorno pizzas, the microwave ones. Those were so good. And then like we got like a drink, and like we ended up watching like music videos and stuff like that, and like talking until I had to leave for my train, and it was really nice. So then I was okay, like we're on good terms, everything's fine. Amanda was sitting in her room, and so was Penelope, and they had their window open. But and then I guess Tammy was talking to the people who live next door, and they were talking, and she's like, oh yeah, like, oh, is your roommate back? She's like, no, thank God. Ugh, hate her. We were just cool before we left. I thought we were okay. Like, I'm the like whatever. I was like irritated by that, but I was like, okay, whatever. From January until like March-ish, she did not like look in my direction. She didn't talk to me. She never looked at me. Like, she just was like, I wasn't there. Oh, I remember. Amanda hated us now. We don't know what happened. She told Penelope she hated us. She didn't like us. And we're like, okay. And that made me really sad because I thought we were friends, and I don't know what I did to her. But apparently, Amanda said that Tammy had a recording of us talking shit about Amanda. And I was like, talking shit about Amanda? Like, okay, the only things we would say about Amanda, which we would also tell her to her face. So that's why I don't feel like it's talking shit. She just wouldn't eat. So it wasn't like healthy. She would eat like hot fries and shit like that. And like, that was really it. She wouldn't actually eat real meals. And that's what we were talking about. And we would tell Amanda too. And we were just like, what the fuck? Like, we don't talk shit about Amanda. So we're all kind of like confused. Like, what the fuck do you mean we're talking shit about Amanda? Don't throw up again. You okay, Chunky? So it was like Valentine's Day. I was downstairs, and then I like was decided to like go back upstairs to go to my dorm. Amanda and Penelope's window was. But as I walk up the stairs, I could see from their window. Walking up the stairs, and then they were just like, no. Like, I was like, oh, what the fuck is going on? It's like, am I finally here to see Tammy freak out? Like, what is going on? But they're telling me like, go back, like go downstairs. And I was like, okay. I called Penelope because I knew Amanda hated me, and Penelope was just like, yeah, so Tammy is in your room right now with Trevor. Tammy met beginning of the first semester, and they were like friends, but like they were always like flirting with each other. They had like breaks with their like boyfriends and girlfriends, and so whenever one of them was on a break, the other one wasn't. So it's kind of just like you know, one of those things. So I guess that Tammy had gone into an argument with her boyfriend, and so she had decided to call up Trevor and have Valentine's night with Trevor. And I was like, oh shit. I really, okay, I wanted to be a bitch. And see, this instance I could have been a bitch, but I was like, no, I'm just not gonna do it. I wanted to just go into, because like the door is locked, but if you have the key, you can unlock it. So I was gonna go in the room, like unlock the door and just go into the room, but I was like, no, I'll just stay in Penelope and Amanda's room. I guess Amanda didn't hate me at that point. She was kind of just like realized that she was being stupid for letting Tammy manipulate her into thinking that we're all just talking shit about her when we're really not. We're not. They ended up coming out of the room like a minute or two after, and they ended up not doing anything because they didn't have a condom. And I was just like, isn't it crazy that this girl who's head over heels in love with her boyfriend, he was a shit boyfriend. I really think they should have broken up a long time ago. I don't know if they're still together or not. But who they were like, she loved him so much, they're gonna have kids, that she got into an argument with him, and now she's gonna have sex with Trevor. But I just thought it was funny. Tammy and I had the same chemistry class because she ultimately failed the chemistry class and I had to take it. So we were just kind of like taking it together. We didn't know we were. She wasn't talking to me. I wasn't talking to her. But then spring break happens. She comes back with like waxing pearls, or she tried like melting them in the microwave. And then all of a sudden I just saw like, I was sitting there with my beats on, and then I like see like there's kind of smoke in the air, and I turn around and I see there's smoke coming out of her microwave. And I was like, oh my God, Tammy. But she was like at the sink. She wasn't even like seeing that it was happening. I was like, Tammy. And she came over and like opened it. And at that point, the fire alarms had gone off. And the thing about the dorms is if a fire alarm goes off, everyone in those buildings has to evacuate. She was freaking out. I could have been a bitch, just ignored this girl freaking out, like having a panic attack, but obviously I'm not gonna do that. I was like sitting with her. I was like, hey, it's okay. No one, she's like, everyone hates me, blah blah blah. And I was like, no one hates you. Like, it goes off sometimes. Like, Who cares? Just throw away the wax so they don't know what it was, and you'll be fine. Like, you know, no one hates you. It's fine. It's not the middle of the night. It's not raining outside, and it's not like the sprinklers went off and so everyone was ruined. Like, you're fine. It's okay. I ended up calming her down. After that, we went to our chemistry class together and we talked and like hung out and stuff. And we ended the year on a nice note. She was like helping me and my dad move stuff to like his car and everything, and I was like moving out of the dorms. Once the second year started, I texted Tammy saying like, oh, I hope you had a good summer. We should catch up, you know, I haven't seen you all summer. Like, it'd be nice to like hang out. And she never responded. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, whatever. But then we ended up being in the DC again, and we saw Trevor. We're like, oh, hey, Trevor. And we're just like, hey, do you know like what happened with Tammy? Like, where is she? We haven't seen her this whole time. And it had already been like a week into school. And it's a really small, whoa, why the fuck did I have an accent right there? And it was a really small campus, so you saw everyone all the time. So we're like, we haven't seen her. And he was just like, oh yeah, she had to drop out, and she went home to help her mom. Yeah, I never heard from her again. Hello. Okay, this is an update on the earrings. They're done curing. You can't even see that they had blue in it. Okay, so these are the earrings. Well, actually, I made just like 2 pairs, because there's so much. Hold on, look. Look at all these. I have to make all these pairs. I'm not doing that right now. I have other stuff to do. But yeah, this is the final result. I don't know what else to say.